Hi everyone, see this huge image being projected here? Can you believe this is being projected by a tiny little projector that's no bigger than my cell phone? Let me bring the camera closer and show you. So this is what we're working with, this tiny little Pico projector from WeJoy. Now this was sent to me for review and this thing is ridiculously cool. If you put it next to my cell phone, this is the OnePlus 3T cell phone, it's pretty much the same size. So you can slip this thing in your pocket, take it around, it has a battery built in so you can use it even without being plugged into the wall. And obviously right now the screen is much smaller. What I had a minute ago was about 100 inches diagonal. This is much smaller because it's closer to the wall. And we've got a little thing on the side for changing the focus. Now when you look at this on the camera right now, it might look like it's flashing or some weirdness like that. It doesn't look like that to the human eye, that's just my camera making it look like that. This thing is absolutely stunning. The image quality, I can't believe they can do it in such a tiny package, like stuffing a battery in this, and it runs Android. I forgot to mention this is actually running Android, so what you see right now is Android 4.4. So let's start by taking a look around the unit. On the top we've got the power button and some various other buttons for going through menus. On the side here we've got two USB ports, so you can connect a USB hard drive or a USB flash disk to play back your media. You've got the DC in, it comes with a charger which is this one here, it's 5 volts 3 amp. Now depending on what country you order this in you might get a different little plug connector, but it's just basically a little barrel jack connector. You've got a headphone socket in case you want to connect headphones to this. You've got a HDMI port. This is a full-size HDMI port, but this is actually an output. You can't use this as an input, unfortunately. On the back here we can see the status of the battery. You can see I've got 2 bars left because it's around 50%. It's also a speaker, and then on the side here we've got a micro SD card slot, and then this switch here just turns the projector on and off. And then here we've got a little dial which acts for the focus. So if I point this at the wall and go like that, you can see it's out of focus, and then if I move it I can put it in focus. Now this also has built-in keystone correction, and what that means is if you're projecting at an angle it will automatically adjust the sides so you won't get like a weird keystone problem, and I have to say it works very, very well. It really is an impressive bit of kit. You also get this remote control included in the kit, but to be honest you don't need this, and let me show you why. If you install this app here called eShare, it lets you do everything you need to do directly from your cell phone. So right now you can see that my cell phone is mirroring what's on this device here because this is running Android inside. So now I can control the device from my cell phone. So if I click on YouTube, you'll see the app launches there. So it's mirroring exactly what's on the Android projector onto my phone. Very, very useful. And just like if I was using the remote control, I can scroll up and down, I can click on various things, start different YouTube videos. It works really well. Now I'm sorry the projector doesn't look amazing right now because, well, 2 reasons. 1, the camera refresh rate is making it look weird, and 2, I've got my lights on. If I turn my lights off, of course it looks much better. You can see how much brighter it looks. Of course that's the same with any projector. The less light, the better projected image you get. So right now I could open this video here for example and it will start playing on the screen. I can make it full screen. And we're now watching Donald Duck on our projector. It does have a built-in speaker, although it's really not great. Let me turn up the volume. So let me just close that video. So yeah, it does have a built-in speaker, but it's not that great. But there's an easy way around that. Just connect it to your Bluetooth speaker. So let me just quickly turn on this Bluetooth speaker. This is the UE Boom, but you could do the same with any Bluetooth speaker. And now the audio is coming out of this speaker, so it's much louder, much better quality.
It shows us where all the land and water are.
So yeah, you can connect this to your Bluetooth speaker, and I would recommend doing that. Now I mentioned it comes with a remote, although you honestly don't have to use it because it's easier to use your cell phone. They have an app for Android and iOS, but let's imagine you want to use the remote control. You can just go across and let me show you what they've got. So you can see here if we go to Smart Apps, we've got EBMC, which is actually Kodi installed. We've got YouTube, we've got the official Play Store, which is really good because that means you can install apps officially from the Google Play Store. That makes things so much easier than having to sideload everything. Although to get Kodi installed, I did have to sideload it because this is Android 4.4. So yeah, it's really nice having the Google Play Store on there. It comes with a bunch of other stuff already installed, like the AirPlay server, Facebook, WPS, Office, bunch of basic Android apps. But here's another cool thing. Let's say I don't want to see what's on the projector, I want the projector to see what's on my phone. I can click mirroring in the app, click start now, and now my phone screen is being mirrored to the projector. How cool is that? So if we swipe there, you can see it's mirroring live. So whatever happens on my phone also happens on the projector. That is a very useful feature. And if I want, I can open up a video that I shot on my phone and then watch it back on the projector. So that's pretty useful. You can also do like overlays, so I can draw around. Let's say I'm trying to do like, I don't know, I'm trying to do a presentation. I can draw on the screen. It's really quite a useful feature. Or I could do something like open YouTube on my phone, then open a video that I want to watch, and that will also be mirrored. So let's just skip this ad. And there you go, it's now mirroring what I'm watching on my phone onto the projector. So that's a really easy way to consume content, it's just to mirror your phone to the projector directly. So you can see if I go like that, it puts it in portrait, like this, landscape. It works really well. And of course that mirroring option is also available on iOS devices like the iPhone and the iPad. So let's turn on AirPlay mirroring, and now you can see that my iPad is being mirrored to the projector. So that's also pretty cool. So you can see I've opened Chrome on my iPad, I can scroll down on the projector, and it's really quite smooth. It does support 2.4G networks and 5G networks, Wi-Fi networks. If you want the best speed, you want to use the 5G. And if you're in an area that doesn't have Wi-Fi, you can turn the hotspot feature on this projector, connect to that using your phone or your iPad, and then mirror your screen like that. So there's various different options for getting connected to this thing. And of course I can also mirror my laptop screen to the projector, although it can be a little bit slower because of the higher resolution, but good enough for PowerPoint presentations and things like that. Now I mentioned earlier that it has USB ports on the side. Here I've got a 128 gig SD card plugged into a SD card reader. Let's plug this into one of the USB ports and then go to the file manager. And then here's just a demo file that I put on there to use as an example. Okay, so it's only been a couple minutes since my last clip, and I think it's basically as good as new now. If we try it. And you can see it played that absolutely fine. So you can put all your movies and TV shows on a USB stick or a USB external hard drive and then connect it, and that will also work. So this thing really is fantastic because there are so many ways to get your content on here, whether you're mirroring it, whether you're using one of the built-in applications, whether you're using the USB drives. There's just so many ways to get your content on here that it's really just so useful. It's been a while since I've come across a product where I've been like, wow, that really has like everything I would want. I can't think of anything I would change. Although, to be honest, there is one thing I would change. I would like this HDMI to be an input instead of an output, so I could connect something to that, for instance, a digital TV box or something like that. So there is one minor change I would make to it, but honestly, for what most people would use this for, I think it's absolutely fantastic. And here's another cool example use. You can open the camera on your phone and start streaming it to the projector. So let's say you want to do a demonstration to people. You could stand at the front of a room with your phone and turn on the camera, show people like what you're doing underneath, and then the projector will project it. So they've really thought of every like kind of use you might want to do with this. And here's another way to interact with it. I can use this to move the mouse around. I can scroll up and down like this. If I want, I can bring up a keyboard. Let's click here. And then instead of typing on the screen, I'll just type on my phone. So hello world, much faster. And you can see that submitted to Google. So it's very, very easy to interact with this thing. Now I mentioned earlier that I had Kodi installed. So if we go to add-ons, I'll go to cooking channel because we want to avoid any kind of copyright issues here. And then let's just select a random episode. I just want to show you that it does work streaming through Kodi. And there you go, you can see it's playing without any problems. Now this is a 720 stream, but I've also done 1080 streams. Let me turn off the lights so you can get a better idea of how it looks.
Choices. Today we have two teams of talented chefs who will face off in 2 rounds of culinary competition.
We're the comfort food kings, that's what we're going to be bringing today.
Watch out, boys. These feisty Latinos are coming for you.
First, the teams will have to trick.
It's pretty cool, right? Now you might be wondering, how about the battery life on this thing? Well, they advertise that you can get around 150 minutes on this, but I ran it for over 2 hours and it's still at around 50% battery. So I guess it depends what you're doing. If you're doing gaming, it's going to die much sooner. If you're just playing back videos, maybe it's going to last longer. So I went beyond 2 hours and still had 50% battery left. So your mileage may vary, but worst case scenario, you just plug it into the wall and you can continue watching even if the battery is dead. So now let me move this further away from the wall so we can get a bigger screen and I can show you what this is really like in a nice dark room.
Culinary competition.
For the comfort food kings, that's what we're going to be bringing today.
Watch out, boys. These feisty Latinas are coming for you.
First, the teams will have to transform one of the market's signature ingredients into a winning dish. They're cooked perfectly, guys. Then, they'll put their...
So hopefully those clips gave you a rough idea of how good this thing is, although what I'm going to do is take some photographs and put them in the video description down below, because it's very hard to capture a projector on video camera because it just doesn't look right, it doesn't focus properly, the colors aren't right, so I think the photos will be more accurate, so check the video description down below to see those photos. Now something else I didn't mention earlier is it also has a little fan on the front here, so that is actually a fan that's blowing out air right now to keep it cool, and it also comes with this little tripod here, although it's not very good. Actually the tripod's okay, but the problem is where they put the mount. Because it's right at the front, it has a tendency to fall over, but let me screw it on and show you. So I've screwed the tripod in, let's try and point it forwards at the wall. You can see it just doesn't work. It just, I mean, honestly I don't know who designed this, but it just doesn't work because all the weight is at the back and it just falls over. I don't know, it just doesn't work. Now that doesn't mean that it's no good at all, because if you've got your own tripod, then of course, you know, you can probably have more luck, especially if it's bigger. For instance, I've got this one here, let's try this. So because this one has bigger legs, we can try and make it more stable, and there you go, it does work. So you can make it work, but with the tripod they include in the kit, just forget about it. You've got more luck just like putting this on a chair or something, because this tripod isn't very good. Now something I didn't mention earlier is the resolution. It can handle 720 or 1080 content, but the actual screen inside that's being projected is a lower resolution, and I'll overlay the resolution of that screen. And when I first saw that resolution I thought, that's not that great, but when you see this thing actually playing a movie, it looks fantastic. So yeah, I mean, this is really the real deal. This is a very good product, and I will put a link for this in the video description down below for anyone who's interested. I'm sure someone's going to have questions. Probably a lot of people have questions because, you know, I can't fit everything in one video. So if you do have any questions, put them in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.